Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting episode from the pages of that action-packed adventure novel by J. Bruno, The Amazing Flight of Aaron William Hawke. This is Illustrated Voices Theatre. I'm your host, Michael Northwood, here to whisk you away on an adventure like no other. In our last episode, we followed along as our hero courageously sailed his home-built kite high into the open blue. However, all did not go as planned, as Aaron's kite collapses, sending our young daredevil plunging helplessly earthward. Will he survive his fall from these dizzying heights? Who will save our young hero? Stay tuned as we ride along with Aaron in this captivating adventure entitled, Wait, What? So make yourself comfortable and let your imagination soar in another thrilling adventure from the pages of the exciting book, The Amazing Flight of Aaron William Hawke, as read by the award-winning storyteller Ian Russel. So without further ado, let our story begin.
The thunder of his heart pounded in his ears. The ground rushed towards him in a blur of green and brown, while the kite flapped wildly in its downward plunge. A rabbit, startled by the commotion, bolted from its resting place to watch the spectacle as Aaron plummeted earthward. Punching through the canopy of trees, the crunch of branches and leaves under the kite's violent impact sounded like gunshots. The sharp cracks reverberated through his bones. Tree branches poked him, digging into his arms and shoulders, slamming into a mangled heap on the ground of the wooded forest in a flurry of broken branches and leaves. A panic of sparrows ballooned from the treetops as the woods quickly hushed to sleep. All was quiet. A face appeared in the darkness before him. It was a beautiful, angelic face, as if made of light. Aaron was paralyzed, drawn into those large green eyes. He looked at the golden hair flowing towards him, made soft by the cascades of sunlight that danced upon it. Her face seemed to float towards him, incredibly close. Her lips parted, revealing a smile, the likes of which he had never seen. Her smile seemed to be etched into her face, a gift from God. The outer corners of her lips lifted, her head tilted to the side, her eyes gently closed. She rubbed his face with her right hand.
Shh. It's okay. Be still. I'm here. You're safe.
Her touch was gentle. Her hands were smooth and warm and lingered on his cheek. She breathed heavy, sleepy breaths. Aaron was light-headed. His thoughts were miles away from his voice. His eyes fixed on her flesh, which seemed to glow from within. Then, without a word, she slowly evaporated into a million feathery particles, blown away like dandelion seeds on the wind. Reality crashed into his consciousness, and Aaron jolted. His eyes remained half-closed, still in shock. He gasped, struggling to get air in his lungs. Tears of confusion and panic welled in his eyes. A warm trickle flowed down his cheeks. He was crying. He tried to lift his arms to wipe the tears off with his sleeves. He swallowed the hard lump that was growing in his throat. He tried to call out for help, but no sound came out. Nothing worked.
Okay. I'm not dead. Calm down.
He tried his best to comfort himself. His ears swam in a sea of white noise. There were no sounds, save the steel drum of his heart. He felt a sharp pain in his shoulder and back, but the pain in his hand shocked him to his core. He wiggled his fingers. One by one, they obeyed, but barely.
Am I paralyzed?
He groaned.
No, I'm in too much pain. I can move my fingers. There.
His thoughts turned to fear. Fear of severe injury. The pain in his hand was unrelenting.
Oh, if it hurts really bad.
He gritted his teeth and spoke through them. He clenched his jaw. The wet leaves and wreckage beneath him felt like needles prickling him all over. His entire body was like a toothache. His head felt like it was being squeezed in a vice. With effort, he opened his eyes. He blinked to clear his vision, but it didn't work. Everything he saw was blurry. Aaron was looking at the world through a steel-brushed television screen. He couldn't tell if his eyes were open or closed. He was afraid to move. Aaron was afraid he would wind up like one of those cautionary tales that mothers tell their children. At that moment, Aaron felt a strange presence. From the corner of his blurred vision, he could make out two shadowy figures, one only slightly larger than the other. As his vision became clearer, he could make out the forms of two birds perched on a fallen limb, a hawk and a crow. The crow cocked its head in the hawk's direction, as if seeking some kind of introduction. The bird lifted its wings to allow the wind to brush beneath. "What happened to him?" the crow asked. "Ah, he forgot the sky," the hawk replied in a condescending tone, then continued, "He lost the feel of the currents and thought he knew everything. Ha! He is still an infant in the sky. Up here, we do not listen to those below us, and we do not speak to those above. It is just us and the wind." Aaron turned his dazed head away, then back at the birds. Nothing seemed real.
Huh?
He replied. In his muddled state, the crow and the hawk speaking human words didn't seem so remarkable. The hawk cocked one eye towards Aaron. "Nice day for flying indeed," he spoke. His voice was deep and unyielding. "You are like a hatchling," he continued. "I dunno. I didn't think his flying was half bad," said the hyper crow. "What do you mean?" he spat. "This one doesn't listen to the wind. Humans never listen to the sky," said the hawk, eyeing Aaron. "Does not the bird know better?" said the hawk. "Humans are not as they seem," the hawk said with a piercing gaze. "You may believe you are the kings of the sky, but you are fools." The crow agreed wholeheartedly. "Yep, fools, all of them! Fools! Look at this fool!" The crow pointed a talon at Aaron. "You let your ego get in the way, and you were getting cocky." The hawk looked away. "Cocky, yeah! Cocky, plain and simple!" mimicked the crow. His vision still blurry, Aaron wiped his eyes with his hand and blinked. Aaron slurred,
Hey, you can't talk. You're just a stupid bird. Besides, I wasn't born with a set of wings like some people.
The crow's beady eyes widened for a moment, awaiting a vapid reply from the hawk. "I never said it was easy, did I?" The hawk hopped onto another broken pole. "I do, young hatchling, give you credit for getting as far as you did." The hawk turned to the crow. "Although I think this one is still young enough to learn. Perhaps a year on the island could teach this one to fly." The hawk turned his gaze to Aaron. "I'm sure the school on Solastasia would welcome you. You would feel most at home there." "Hey, shut up about the island!" scolded the crow in a hushed tone. The hawk hurled a dagger-like gaze at the crow. Choosing his words carefully, he spoke. "Do I have to remind you I eat your kind for breakfast?" The crow swallowed hard, and he hopped away to a safer distance. Aaron's eyes narrowed.
Island? What's... So, whatever you said.
The crow's eyes locked onto the Icarus medallion poking out of Aaron's shirt. "Wait, look! He must know! Or maybe he was already there!" he squawked, and pointed his talon at the medallion. The hawk took notice. Aaron ran his fingers through his hair and flinched. He felt a knot where a pole or branch or something had beamed him soundly. The hawk leaned in to get a closer look at the medal. "Where did you—" Hearing a sound, the hawk looked up. He spread his wings and leapt skyward and out of sight. The crow ruffled its feathers. He hopped onto Aaron's chest and extended his beak towards Aaron's face. Aaron and the crow were nose to nose. The crow cocked his head to one side and opened his beak. "Hey, kid! You all right?" Instantly, reality snapped into focus. Aaron's eyes locked onto the crow.
Wait, what? Are you talking?
Aaron drew his head back, while the world around him reassembled. The scattered pieces of this illusion once again became order.
What the heck? Were you just...
A rustling sound nearby caught his attention. The crow jolted, then quickly vanished into the sky. "Hello there," a voice called out from the woods. "Is anyone there?"
Thank you for watching tonight's episode, and we hope you've enjoyed our story. If you would like to continue your journey with our young adventurer, please visit any one of the retailers listed below to obtain your very own copy of The Amazing Flight of Aaron William Hawke. This is Illustrated Voices Theatre. I'm Michael Northwood. Thank you for watching, and good night.